Fortnite just dropped a trailer for season 3, and when I heard this was going to be a Star Wars season, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be mid. But the information in this video completely changed my mind. Like, Fortnite is actually cooking. So let's go over all the map changes, the skins, the vehicles, the 2 live events, being able to fly the battle bus, and so much more. So the first things first, Fortnite season 3 is not 12 weeks long. It's only going to be 5 weeks. And to me, this confirms we are not getting an OG season or a remix season this year like we did with Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. But this Saturday, there's actually going to be a mini event to kick things off and kind of give us a teaser as to what to expect in the season. And then on the last day of the season, there's going to be a huge live event. And I'm talking huge. I'm talking something comparable to Galactus or Travis Scott. This is going to potentially break the player count record in Fortnite because there's going to be a lot of buildup and hype going into it. And it's a full narrative storyline. So it's not going to be just a random live event. There's going to be a lot of things shown and talked about the future of Fortnite and what's going on in this entire season. So let's talk about the trailer. This is actually a teaser trailer, so there's more things to discover as we get closer to the launch. But the first thing we see in the trailer is the Death Star. So it's being aimed at the Fortnite map, and from what we can tell, the storyline is Emperor Palpatine is coming over to the Fortnite island with his Death Star and all his forces, and he's trying to destroy the Fortnite map. And of course, us and the other Fortnite characters are going to try to stop him throughout the course of this season. Then we see the battle bus being chased by ships that have been rifted in. But if you pay very close attention here, there's actually somebody on top of the battle bus controlling a turret, which is telling me that we are going to be able to fly the battle buses in the next season. And that's not the only form of sky combat we can expect, because there's also X-Wings and TIE fighters, and yes, you're going to be able to fly both of them. So there's going to be a lot of aerial combat, it seems, in this season, which reminds me of Star Wars Battlefront if you've ever played it. You know, some players are going to be fighting up in the sky, some players are going to be down low fighting with lightsabers and guns and using the Force. So there's a lot of potential here as to how they implement this, but it's going to be very, very high action and a huge change of pace from what we're used to in the Fortnite seasons right now. And then in the next shot, we see Fishstick gliding down with the new season's wind umbrella, and he's getting aimed at by the Death Star. And right below him, we see players dropping into the first of the new POIs. This is Mos Eisley. It's a classic location from the movies, and it's going to be replacing Hopeful Heights. So that area is going to be somewhat of a desert biome. We also see sand crawlers, which will be in this desert biome. And I'm assuming these are going to work similar to the armored trucks this season, where you can go and attack them and take them down, and you can open the hatch behind and get some special loot. And then we see a shot of a battle pass skin, Mace Windu. This is played by Samuel L. Jackson in the movies. And then we get another shot of the turret on the battle bus and a shot of Wookiee Cuddle Team Leader, which is also another battle pass skin. In the next shot, we see some new weapons in the new POI. They're bringing back some of the rifles that we've had before, like the E11 blaster, but honestly, the E11 blaster has been so bad for so long. I'm hoping we get something with a little bit more firepower. Or if they just make the E11 blaster better, that would be good as well. And then finally, we see another battle pass skin. A lot of people are very, very excited about this one on social media. It's actually Eevee from Chapter 3, Season 3's Battle Pass. And it looks like she's going to have a Jedi and Sith edit style, which looks pretty sick. And the question a lot of people have with the Battle Pass, with it being a Star Wars season, is are we finally getting the lightsaber pickaxes? Everyone has been asking for lightsaber pickaxes since the very beginning when we first had our Star Wars collaboration back in Chapter 2. We haven't gotten them. Even when Darth Vader was in the Battle Pass, we didn't get him. And then when they added the Force Mythics as well in Chapter 4, we did not get any Star Wars or lightsaber pickaxes. We got just weird random pickaxes like the one I'm using right now. So if they don't add it, This season, we are never, ever getting lightsaber pickaxes. And I'm sure they're going to add it. If I had to bet, I'm almost confident they will add it because they know what the people want. They know it's going to sell so much. And if you end up buying anything, you got to, you don't have to, but you can use code SypherPK in the item shop. In the next scene, we see who Evie is fighting. And it's actually kind of funny because it's Darth Jar Jar. And if you don't know anything about Star Wars, Jar Jar, he's a character from the prequels. A lot of people hated him. He was memed on a lot. People say he ruined the prequels. But there was this huge fan theory that, secretly it was all an act. The way he was acting, he was just trying to throw people off. But he was secretly a very powerful Sith Lord. But due to how negative people perceived him, they ended up changing the story and they just kept him as just like a silly character in the series. But Fortnite decided to bring it to life for the very first time, and Darth Jar Jar will be a battle pass skin. And we also see him using a force ability that we haven't had before. We've had a bunch of different force mythics added to Fortnite, but now we're using force lightning. So we can expect that to be a potential mythic added this season. And that's the conclusion of the trailer, but there's actually a lot more information that got posted and leaked throughout this presentation. So let's go over it. All right. We also got this picture posted. This is a key art for the new season, and it shows us the entire Battle Pass skins that are going to be added for the next season. I don't know what this guy was doing. Jeez. So we got Jar Jar. We got Emperor Palpatine. We got Mace Windu. We got Mandalorian, Poe Dameron, Captain Phasma, and a Sith/Jedi version of Evie from the old Chapter 3 Battle Pass. So it's a pretty stacked Battle Pass. Lightsabers, of course, are returning. That's very, very expected whenever there's a Star Wars collab. But people still don't know for sure. We haven't had confirmation. I was hoping they would confirm during the little live stream they did. We don't know for sure if the lightsabers are going to be purchasable pickaxes or in the Battle Pass. On top of that, the old Mandalorian Mythic is returning, the jetpack and the sniper, and a lot of the old Star Wars items are also returning, but there are some new stuff that are being added as well. Like the Andor rifle, which is a weapon that is a pistol, but then can transform into a sniper if you need it. So kind of like a 2-in-1. Hopefully, it's a little bit better than the pump and dump, which is a version of the 2-in-1 that we just don't actually really enjoy. Hold up. Bro pulled out the baseball bat like he was going to end me. So let's break down the schedule for Season 3 so you know what to expect and when to expect it. Like I said, it all starts on May 2nd, and they have this timeline for us. May 2nd is the Imperial Takeover. This is when the Emperor is going to show up with his force. They're going to take over the map. We're going to be under siege by them, and there's going to be a lot of enemies on the map. And then on May 8th, the Pull of the Force. This is probably when the good guys show up. We're going to get some of the mythic items added, the mythic force abilities to fight back against Emperor Palpatine and his forces. And then May 22nd, Mandalorian Rising. So Mandalorian will return to the map. We're probably going to get the Mandalorian mythics on that day, as well as some other changes. I'm sure they're not just going to rehash old Mandalorian stuff. They'll probably throw us a few new things. Like I could probably expect the Andor pistol to be added around that weekend as well. And then May 29th is the Star Destroyer Bombardment. So this is going to be when we're under attack. They're really trying to destroy the map. I'm expecting some map changes on that update, and just a lot of havoc because it all builds up to June 7th. June 7th is the Death Star Sabotage. So if there is a live event to compare this to, just based on the story and what I'm expecting, it's probably going to be similar to Chapter 2, Season 7, when we got on top of the mothership, or we got into the mothership and blew it up from the inside. So there's probably going to be an epic boss fight, and then the Death Star blows up, and that's going to be the conclusion of the event. And guys, so far on social media, everyone is extremely excited about this event and about the Star Wars season. Even people who are not into Star Wars are pretty hype. I truly think Epic has probably been working with Disney on this project for a very long time. I'm expecting some really crazy stuff from the mini event to the live event. The battle pass looks awesome. I'm even predicting that they might have a kind of a Star Wars Battlefront styled game mode. This is just me predicting that they're going to give us a Star Wars Battlefront styled game mode, which is not going to be like a battle royale, but it's going to be like a team versus team, where some players are flying in the sky fighting each other, some players are fighting on the ground. And I'm super pumped, super excited. Even as someone who hasn't watched Star Wars before, I'm looking forward to the gameplay that they're going to add. I think it's going to be hype. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys are excited for. And don't forget to like and subscribe. You know we're going to have that content fresh for you guys as soon as it's live. I'll see you guys in the next video.